Hello class and welcome to week 4 of History of Psych. As always, here are some important announcements and important topics that we'll cover this week. All right, so your expectations for this week, you do not have to do a social bookmark. You don't have to do a quiz. There's no chapter to read. So hopefully it's more of a light week for you on that end of things. What I would like for you to do this week is to read the journal article that I have left for you in your module called Placing Women Back into Psychology. As you may have noticed, especially after our last chapter, we had slide after slide after slide of what seems to be men. You will kind of see this throughout our chapters, that men are covered a lot, and maybe a paragraph each chapter we look at women. So I really wanted to make sure that we included articles and information about women this week. So you have to read a journal article, and there's 2 videos listed for you, and I'll go into those in just a couple more minutes. During this week as well, you will complete exam number 1. Exam number 1 will be 62 multiple choice questions. It will be timed. You will have 60 minutes in order to complete the exam. You can use your book, you can use your notes. I'm okay with that. This exam will cover everything that we've covered in week 1 through 4. So chapters 1 through 3 in our texts, any of the videos that I've left, as well as the journal article for this week. I have heard from other classes that there have been lots of issues with cheating, including people taking like screenshots of quizzes and exams in different classes. So after this exam, you'll only be able to see your score. If you're curious after the exam period is over, so after Sunday, if you reach out to me directly, I'm happy to discuss any questions that you got wrong, any concerns that you have about the exam. Just reach out to me directly and I will be able to share that information with you. All right, so as I mentioned before, the topic of the week is women. I wanted to make sure that we were a little bit more inclusive in this class. So this week we'll cover women. Later on in the course, we're also going to cover kind of LGBT issues in psychology. So I really want you guys to read this article that I picked out. It's about the first American women psychologists. Things I want you to pick out from this article are, who are these women? What are their names? What were the common hardships and experiences that they had after they graduated with a degree in psychology? What did their careers look like after graduation? What about their careers and lives were different than males that were graduating at the same time with psychology degrees? And what were the areas of psychology that they were studying? A huge pioneer in this area that I would like for you guys to focus on, her name is Mary Watkins, and you can see her picture in the lower right-hand side of this slide. To give you an example, she was one of the first women to ever graduate with a degree in psychology. Though she never received a PhD, she completed all of her coursework at Harvard. She completed the dissertation, and at the final hour, Harvard decided, we're not going to give you a PhD in psychology. And the only reason was because she was a woman. At the time, Harvard did not accept women, so they said, by default, you can't get a degree there. So they decided, well, you've completed all of your coursework, totally fine. How would you like this degree from a different university? And ultimately, she refused. She never went to that school. She was considered a true pioneer and later on became a president of the APA, the second female president to be exact. So really kind of take a dive into the life of her. I think it would be very surprising to see the differences between her and people, especially women who are graduating with PhDs in psychology today. And really think about, this really wasn't that long ago. She would have graduated in the late 1800s. So we're really only talking about the last 150 years. There are also 2 videos that I want you guys to focus in on. One of them is going to be obstacles for women in psychology. This video will cover kind of what I'm talking about with Mary Calkins, as well as Mary Ainsworth and Margaret Washburn, and another video that's more kind of satirical, looking at, are women truly bad at science? So it's up to you guys to decide. If you, as always, if you guys have any questions, if you need anything at all, I'm happy to help. Hope you have a good week and let me know if you need anything. Bye.